Still right here on 88.5 UFM, the new sound of Lagos. Yours truly, 80 to the radio OG on the Touchdown Lagos Drive Time Show. And if you check your time, it's 4 minutes past 4:30 on purpose. I want it to be 2:40 there. That you know for. Oh, 80 to stop this. You're not helping your case. And you know at this time, every Thursday, we have doctors in the building. And interestingly, we have partnered with our friends at Avon HMO because one thing that UFM and Avon has in common is the color purple, right? So you can call us that we're twin. Where have you been? Yeah. And the call is done in partnership with Avon HMO, Nigeria's leading and most responsive health management organization. And I'll give some more details about them as the show progresses. But today on the show, we're discussing something very important. We're talking arguably one of the biggest phrases ever used in Nigeria. It is used as advice. It is used as, caution. It is used as, what's it called now? It's used as warning. It is also used as a threat. You understand? So, for example, if your parents are trying to warn you about a habit that they feel will be destructive to you in future, they'll say, my son, prevention is better than cure. If you go to the doctor and maybe they note some patterns, like, what, I would advise that they'll say, because, prevention is better than cure. And let's say you're talking to your friends and they know that you're doing something, you're about to do something that's like, my brother, that's what you're doing. Prevention is better than cure. At some point in time in your life, you've heard prevention is better than cure. Today, we're talking about the power of prevention and ultimately why vaccines matter. Because, quite frankly, in health today, the difference or what is standing between you and that ailment is a vaccine shot or a vaccination, right? Quite frankly. And today, as a guest, we have Dr. Oluwaseun Odunaya. Did I get that correctly? I realized your surname, like moments for coming on the show. Like, I must not fail this one. Dr. Odunaya is a committed medical professional with 5 years of clinical practice experience. He completed his internship at the renowned University College Hospital in Ibadan. I saw my comment. Where he developed exceptional skills in patient care and medical practice. He is an accomplished speaker. He has delivered numerous health talks and presentation on topics such as chronic disease management, men's health and wellness, while cultivating a growth interest in mental health advocacy. His dedication to improving clinical outcomes is reflected in his efforts to advance healthcare standards, promote overall well-being, and equip individuals with practical strategies to address mental health challenges, reduce stigma, and prioritize wellness. Currently, Dr. Oluwaseun Odunaya works at Avon Healthcare as a regional care coordinator for the Lagos region, where he focuses on enhancing access to quality healthcare services through his work. Bottom line, if this guy speaks, you should listen. He knows his job. Welcome to the show, Dr. Seun.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
You were looking good. I mean, I might have to take this suspenders from you before we go.
You are the fourth person who has said that today.
Put me number one, because I cannot be fourth. I got to be number one. So I'll get it from you almost immediately. Before you leave this show.
No problem.
Deal? I like that. You didn't say deal.
No problem.
Hey, you're a politician. Let's jump right into it. We're talking about, the power of, or prevention is power, why vaccines actually matter. Now, let's do a little bit of stat padding here, or stat declaration here. One of the reasons that polio, or Nigeria is polio free, is because of the aggressive campaign on polio vaccination. As at 2022, Nigeria was declared polio free, and this was made possible by the aggressive campaign by the government on vaccination and also immunization as well. Immunization saves millions of lives globally every year, and is considered one of the most effective public health intervention. For the uninitiated and is wondering right now, vaccines, what are those? I think vaccines became popular during COVID. With get vaccinated, get your booster shot, get your supplementary shots, just get shots one way or the other. What are vaccines and how do they work? What's the chemistry behind vaccines, really?
Okay, so vaccines are basically medical preparations that sensitize your immune system to identify and attack specific organisms that cause diseases. So basically, how it works is when it's introduced into your system, it can be a dead form of the vaccine of the organism or an inactive form. It sensitizes your body to produce antibodies. Now, basically, look at them like soldiers. So that if you ever come across that organism again in future, your body already knows how to fight it.
Yeah.
So think of it like a fire drill for your immune system. The practice before the emergency comes. So that's what vaccines are.
It's quite interesting the way you put it. So I'm hearing OS updates, for I'm hearing OS updates for your body as regards that particular ailment.
Yes.
Really, and I think it's really good. Now, one of the things I've seen with Nigerians is the thought and the belief that vaccines are usually for children. It's really because most time when we've heard the word vaccines used, it's between for children and all that. How true is this? And and if not true, how important is it that in our adult lives or in our adult years we have to take vaccination important?
Okay, so vaccines cut across all age groups. They are not for children alone. You have those for children. You also have those that adults can take. Even as a child, if there are vaccines you missed as a child, as an adult, you can still take some of them. So it's not age dependent per se. It cuts across all age groups. I mean, for adults, you're talking things like hepatitis B vaccine, HPV vaccine, the one that protects against human papillomavirus, the causative organism for cervical cancer. You're also talking yellow fever, even COVID. So these are examples of vaccines that you can get as an adult. Even there are certain countries where you travel to, you're expected to take some vaccinations because there are endemic areas for certain diseases. For example, if you're traveling for, I think, the Muslim thing, I think Hajj, usually you're expected to take the meningococcal vaccine. So these are things that you actually take as adults, not just when you're a child.
And this question will now lead to what vaccines. I'm thinking that as an adult now. Let's do a double-pronged approach. As an adult, what vaccines should an adult prioritize, or are important that you must get them? Then also for kids as well, what vaccines are important for children to also get?
Okay, so I'll start with that for children. We're talking your BCG, oral polio vaccine, pneumococcal vaccine, yellow fever, rotavirus, pentavalent vaccines. Then for adults, you're looking at hepatitis B, especially if you didn't have it as a child. I mentioned the HPV vaccine earlier. You're also looking at tetanus toxoid vaccines, especially important for pregnant women to prevent maternal transmission to fetuses. So these are some of the common and important ones that you should prioritize.
Now, one of the things we've seen with vaccines over the last couple of years is trust. And I mean trust in the sense that I remember during COVID, one of the biggest issues, in fact, it became like a talking point even between celebrities, and it was, it's a means to track us, it's a means to 666, and even beyond the religious and conspiracy sentiments, there were now questions of side effects. We had people that reported side effects from vaccination or from getting certain vaccines or the other. The question will now be, is compared to, is side effects like a popular thing with vaccination? Is it concerned with vaccination? And if that were to be the case, on a scale of weighing which is important, side effects of the vaccine over the effect of the ailment, how does that balance tilt, or what does it go towards?
Okay, so I'll put it this way: just like any other medication you can take, side effects with vaccines are they're not things that you can escape. However, these are usually mild things, mild fever, aches at the site of the vaccination, fatigue, very, very minute things. And it's actually a sign that your immune system is responding how it should. Usually, the cost of the disease itself, if you wait to get the disease, could overshadow the side effects, the possible side effects that you could get from the vaccination. I mean, we can't overlook, occasionally there are maybe rare, exaggerated side effects, but these are usually very rare. However, the cost of the disease itself, if you wait and say, oh, when I have the disease, I'll treat it, sometimes they can be very, very fatal. However, with vaccination, irrespective of the minor side effects, you've basically trained your body so that if it ever comes across something like that, it knows how to fight it. So, I mean, if you're looking at it, I think I'd rather take a little fever that I can, taper down with paracetamol than wait for the uncertainty of, when it comes, we'll treat it.
Now, there's a question on regularity of you getting the vaccine. And this will speak to the fact that, is it something like I should do regularly, or is it one and done for vaccines? So when I get one, am I not getting any one for life again? Or would I do take one in the morning, take one in the afternoon? So is vaccination something that I do like is it bi-monthly, or once in 3 months, quarterly, or once in 4 years? Does this vaccine wear out of your system eventually after taking it one time, or just one and done and you're good to go?
Okay, so that would generally depend on the kind of vaccine you're having. There are vaccines that are one-off. However, there are vaccines that you require booster doses for. It's actually dependent on the vaccine. Not one rule cuts across all of them. And that's the importance of understanding the immunization schedule and having your immunization card. These things usually would outline and explain, for this vaccine, this is how often you're expected to get it. When you get it now, this is the next date you're getting it. It would also let you know, this is the only time you're going to be getting this vaccine. So it's largely dependent on the type of vaccine, really.
We're going to break right now. When we come back, we'll talk a lot more into access, in terms of how accessible is vaccination, in terms of people to these things. Is this something that is readily available for Nigerians? Do we have to pay through our noses for it? There are government initiatives that make this thing affordable and accessible to the average Nigerian.
88.5 UFM.
We're still on the Touchdown Lagos Drive Time Show, 80 to the Radio OG, and this segment is Doc on Call, that is brought to you in partnership with Avon HMO. All right. There's a reason why they are, of course, Nigeria's leading and most responsive health management organization. And one thing for sure that Avon cares about is you living a full and healthy life, It reminds me of a verse in the Bible, that Christ has come that they might have life and have it more abundantly. Hallelujah. Amen. Somebody holds me before I prophesy. And we've been speaking about prevention is power, why vaccines matter, and we've had Dr. Oluwaseun Odunayan in the building, who has been taking us step by step what vaccines are, and he told me, and this is my takeaway from a lot of this. One of them is the fact that vaccines are more or less like your body updating the OS of your army's OS, your body's army's OS against whatever ailment it is that you might want to come in contact with. So once you take the vaccine, your body say, "Oh, nice one, thank you for the update," and they just they start to re-engineer themselves to be able to fight whatever ailment that is that might come into your body in future. And we're talking about it. It's important. It's not just for kids alone. It's for adults. You have, get vaccinated, get immunized, as they call it immunization in some parts of Nigeria. And it's important that, you understand your vaccine schedule. Some are one-off. Some will require you to have like booster doses right after you've had, the first shot. And one thing I want to come to right now, and I think we spoke about it earlier before we went on the break, it will be the fact that, again, I've heard some really interesting stuff about immunization and vaccination. Like I said, during COVID-19, oh my God, my ears were full of a lot of, hey, it's the sign of the Antichrist. They want us to do experiments. That's what they're doing. Why they not share it in US? Why they share it only in Africa? You understand? And there was a lot of those conversations about it. What are certain mistakes that you think people make about vaccination? And what are myths that you've heard about vaccination and you feel like, no, these are not true, these are wrong and should be corrected?
So, most of the mistakes that people make is generally as a result of misinformation. Getting most of your information from social media rather than healthcare personnel. I mean, it's like you said, it's funny some of the things that I've heard. I mean, you hear people say, oh, the vaccine is a microchip. They're using it to monitor you. Later, you're going to develop the disease that they say they are protecting you against. Or there's even a popular one, oh, it's more prevalent in Africa because they're trying to wipe out half of the population. All of these things are just conspiracy theories, really. I mean, if we look at the effect that vaccines have had globally and even in Nigeria, it's the benefits outweigh the risk. For example, polio, which we all know, back a couple of years used to cause widespread paralysis in Nigerian children, but we basically have almost eradicated polio. So I mean, it's when you look at the benefits, they far outweigh whatever conspiracy theories that there might be. What I encourage people to do is get information for yourself. Don't just go with the crowd. Get information from yourself, for yourself. Ask questions. Continue to ask questions. That way you can make an informed decision on, oh, I think I want to do this, or no, I'm not doing it. And
that's actually very, very quite interesting, that thing that you said about how a lot of these misconceptions come from misinformation and people getting their information from a variety of sources, some of them Facebook pages and WhatsApp groups that my daddy shares to me sometimes, quite frankly. But let's talk about Nigeria and the gaps. We've made progress with vaccination, immunization over the years. One of the reasons that Nigeria is polio free is, I remember there was a time that some women would dress in in reflective jackets and walk around every street and shouting, "Oh, take the polio," and literally they're knocking door to door and all that stuff. But since polio, until COVID-19, I don't think there has been any widespread campaign on immunization or vaccination. It's almost like we don't hear about it until maybe something life-threatening happens and we're like, oh, let's scramble. And what are the gaps that still exist with the government approach to how vaccination should be taken seriously, and where do you think we're failing as a country, and what can we do better?
Okay, sure. I think the most important bit would be information reception from Nigerians generally. There are quite a number of people that do not believe in vaccines or believe this conspiracy theory. So even if there's any form of sensitization or putting it out there, quite a number of people ignore it. I will put it this way: it's not social media information that excites people or that sells. So yeah, that's one problem.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if it happens in your areas, but there are occasional times where you still see these women from health centers go from house to house, street to street, and knock. Oh, is there any child in this house? Come and take your vaccine. Do a little talk about it. Most of the time, people just ignore them. Most of the time, people just ignore them. So that's, I think it's just about the information reception, and there needs to be more. We need to push out more information concerning this, so people are fully aware, they're getting the right information, they're not listening to just propaganda and conspiracy theories. So there needs to be that push out of information more, not just when we have outbreaks, but it should be part of our routine day-to-day activities. I mean, early in the morning as the radio shows are going on, there's a 5 or 2 minute talk about vaccination or immunization, advert here and there. I mean, for something you constantly see and hear, it will continue to play in your mind. So I think that's something that can be done. We just need to push that information more out there and ensure that we're pushing out the right information.
Now this is for, and this is like a practical session for somebody listening out there who has maybe never gotten a vaccine in their life before, and maybe they missed and they're like, oh, I think I missed this thing. I missed that thing. What's the next step to take? What step can they take? Are there places that they can access these vaccines, like you said, for the ones that we as adults or kids need to take? Where can they get it? What should be the next step for them to do?
Okay, so the good news is for vaccines that you miss as a child, you can still get them as an adult. What you need to do is visit the closest health center to you. Most of these vaccines are free, or for the few ones that are not free, come at a very, very subsidized rate.
Okay.
Something you can afford. I mean, it's much cheaper than the money you spend on Bet Nigeria or Sporty Bet.
Wow.
So it comes at a really subsidized rate. All you need to do is visit the health center, speak to a health personnel. Oh, these are the vaccines that I've missed, or I've not had any vaccine. As an adult, I'm here, this is my first time. What are the catch-up vaccines that I need to do or get, and how do I go about it? In fact, the women at the health center, they are always welcome. They are always looking for people to, talk to about vaccination. So they will be more than willing to help you. So visit the closest health center to you today. You'll get all the information that you need. And if you're someone who probably started and maybe didn't finish, if you have your immunization card, you can also present at the health center with it, and then they will know where to continue from.
Now, as we wrap up on the show today, and before we go, I would like to ask and beg of you, all ye medical colleague, if you had let's say a minute to convince a skeptic, one of these people that's holding this, like you said, holding this mentality that, oh, they're trying to microchip me and track my movements and trying to conscript me into the army of the Antichrist, if you had 1 minute to convince a skeptic, a Nigerian listener, like, oh, these guys are just they have come again, on why vaccination matters, what would you say?
Okay, so convincing skeptics are hard, but one thing I'll tell you is vaccination is actually one of the best gifts you can give yourself as an individual. And one of the things you can do is read, get knowledge. There are studies that have been published, rigorous exercises, multiple clinical trials. The information is out there. You just need to be willing to see it for yourself. Leave out social media propaganda, leave out social media banter, leave out the side effects that you're worried about. Just go read, get your own information. At the end of the day, you'll realize that it does more good for you than evil. Like I said, oral polio vaccine was a miracle worker. A couple of years ago, down the street you see children paralyzed crawling, but how many of those do you see now? That is one thing we've done great as a country. We've basically eradicated it.
Nigeria is literally polio free.
So if it was really bad, the trend should have been people are getting worse, not getting better. So I think the information is out there. You just need to read and understand for yourself rather than follow social media propaganda.
What you just said, sort of while you were talking, a thought came to my head, and I would say that's one thing I've learned so far in today's conversation. And it will be that, are we really avoiding vaccines because they're dangerous or because we don't fully understand them, right? And I think that's for everybody to sort of ponder on the fact that, is it because you are afraid, or you don't know what they do, or you don't know how important it is to your health and your overall well-being? And I think that's something that everybody needs to take serious. Even means that after today, I'm going to go evaluate myself and see, I think I need to get some more if I need to get in that regard. Thank you so much, Dr. Oluwaseun Odunaya, for coming on the show today. We have a show after this that's called Down for Tunes, all right? And as always, I always put my guests and ask them, if you could go to somewhere right now. I know you drive, all right? I know you're a big man, okay? But if you could go somewhere right now, a downfall could take you there, what would that be?
Omo Resort.
Oh, sure. You want to go and relax? You've been going through a lot, Abi. The law is your strength, my brother. It's not easy. You know, it's not easy to
Straight ride, just me all the way.
Danfo doesn't work that way. It must be you and one woman that's selling fish with our whole fish in the Danfo.
There's space for everybody.
If you give a shout out to somebody on the show today, who would that be? Or anybody or everybody, who would that be?
Okay, shout out to my mom, obviously.
God bless Mommy Shem.
Yeah, and my colleagues at Avon HMO. You guys are the best.
There's a trend here. Last week on the show too, they said.
Don't worry, you need to come around and see for yourself.
I would
understand.
now I want to come around because the guest last week said my team. Now you are saying everybody at work. Wow, I want to come to your work. All right, and if you could have something for, let's say, lunch or dinner, what would that be?
I think Amala.
Wow.
And Ewedu with Begiri and Ogufe.
Salivating already. Shout out to you. Ladies and gentlemen, Duck on Call is brought to you by 88.5 UFM in partnership with our friends, family, and our team, which are the best at Avon HMO. They are, of course, Nigeria's leading and most responsive health management organization. And you can stay connected with them across all platforms on social media. Their handle is Avon HMO, AVON HMO. You get some premium quality health tips, updates, wellness information that will help you live a full and healthier life. And of course, you can explore their plans and affordable healthcare plans and more of the services by going to their website at www.avonhealthcare.com. www.avonhealthcare.com. Or if you want to speak to somebody and have a conversation with somebody, they have a 24-hour customer care line. You can reach them on 0201 888 9979. 0201 888 9979. Now this just brought this to my mind right now. We have Purple in common, and guess what? On your phone numbers, you have a lot of 8s, and we also have 8 here. So you can say we're a match made in Purple heaven. All right, we gotta go. When we come back, Danfo Tunes takes over. Another word to describe my guest on the studio today, and Avon HMO. You can say they are an Ogaranya. That's Igbo for big man.
88.5 UFM.